Just, oh, okay, I'm just gonna press recording. Okay. So yeah, my name's Alex Townsend. I'm the safety at home coordinator for Brantford and Brant County. I have experience with program facilitation, and I'm very passionate about keeping everyone but seniors safe and just their overall well-being. So I've gained experience through working in long-term care, volunteering in long-term care, and now working with community support services. If we're getting a little informal, I'm a huge dog lover and I enjoy cooking and baking. And when I'm not working, I'm outside being active or eating delicious food. Next one, just gonna have to figure out my order here. So to start us off, this is the Safety at Home presentation. So the Safety at Home program resides in Brant County, Brantford, and there's Niagara, Hamilton, and Haldeman, Norfolk. But I'm just going to talk about Brantford and Brant County since that's where we all are. And just a little bit of information on Victoria Order of Nurses. We're Canada's largest national not-for-profit charitable home and community care organization. We offer over 75 different home care supports and community services. We provide them with personal assistance and support needed to make them comfortable in their own home. Okay. So the vision of Victorian Order of Nurses is every life lived to the fullest. Our mission is to help people live in their homes and stay in their communities by delivering support that they need and that their families need. And this year has been the 125th year of Victorian Order of Nurses being around. So that's really great. So within our Brantford and Brant County Victorian Order Nurses services, there's personal support, nursing, e-shift, and volunteer visiting. But I'm just going to focus on safety at home. It makes a nice, delicious pie. All right. So I'm just going to focus on safety at home. So safety at home, our mission, our vision is staying healthy, safe, and independent and staying at home. So why do we need to know this information? So we need to know this information just because if you're interested in staying independent, staying at home, plus knowing these services that can support you and that are available in our community will be a great benefit to you, a loved one or friend, anyone that you know, even if it's not you. And it all just makes a healthy, safe, and stronger you. So a little bit about the Safety at Home program. So as I said earlier, it's within Hamilton, Niagara, Haldeman, Norfolk, and Brant. We're funded through Home and Community Support Services. There is coordinator training. So that's through the Canadian Falls Prevention Curriculum course. So I think it's normally like a 3 or 4 day course, but it's online right now because of everything going on. So it takes a month or two to go through, but all the safety home coordinators are trained through the course. And we like to emphasize that we are not OTs, but we can provide recommendations. So basically we can educate on safety issues to stay healthy, safe, and independent, but we know when we should be referring to OTs for expertise and other referrals. Sorry, they're doing construction and I didn't realize it was going to be this loud. It kind of scared me. But we can see that bathroom safety equipment is not in place. Okay, we can see that bathroom safety equipment is not in place and that the bathroom is a slippery place and it's a place where you're vulnerable. We can see that maybe a client's mobility is not good. We don't diagnose, we see the risks and we make referrals and recommendations. So we see that grab bars are not in the bathtub or the shower, and maybe they would be beneficial, so we will recommend. I'm sorry if this is bugging anyone. I don't know what they're doing. They're doing construction downstairs. Okay. So people are injured at home more than any other location. I think when I looked at some statistics with the Government of Canada, about 50% of injuries with seniors were at home. That's why this program is so important to help you, your tenants, family, friends to stay safe at home. And the good news is there's programs like this. Okay. So safety at home. So the safety at home consists of a free individualized visit where I or the other safety at home coordinators, but in this area would be me, I'd come to your house at a scheduled time that we both agree on, and I'll get to know some more information about you. If you've had any falls or past injuries in the home, a little bit of health information, and then you'll give me a tour or I'll look around, and based on what I see, I'll give recommendations, and we could possibly refer you to other programs based on what we've talked about or any concerns or comments that you've brought up. We do have assistive device subsidy, but we only have limited dollars. So it's just based on the client's income. But if that is a concern, if you do decide to participate in this program, we'll talk more about it and we'll come to an agreement, and I'll help as much as I can. And so brokered workers we work with Action Medical in Brantford. They're over on Clarence Street. So we work with them and they help install grab bars and other devices if family or the clients themselves don't feel comfortable installing. They'll help out, and they're very reliable. They have lots of stuff in their store, and it's a great store to go to if you're needing any safety equipment. And as a safety at home coordinator, we like to do jobs that might be a little bit more difficult or you don't feel comfortable doing. So I might stand on the ladders, I might change the light bulbs, I might move the big heavy box, stuff like that. And I do have lots of information on grant programs like the March of Dimes Home and Vehicle Modification Program. There is a Brantford renovation program that I've been looking into that can help with bigger renovations in the home that VON doesn't have the funding to help out with, but that's why there's these programs. Okay. So as a safety at home coordinator, I've developed a different set of eyes. So some people just get used to seeing their stairs or part of their flooring. They're starting to deteriorate and break, and people just get so used to it. But as a safety at home coordinator, I'm supposed to recommend and kind of make you aware that these are risks and they're putting you at risk or your family at risk and anyone that comes and visits. So we just like to remind you that we're there just to help keep you safe. We're not trying to make you feel bad about the way you live. We always try to emphasize the great things that are going on in your house, but we like to mention and recommend based on like the stairs you see there. And I have had a lady say, I just got so used to stepping over this, I don't remember what it was, this weird thing on the floor. And I'm like, oh, well, that's probably not the greatest since you're using a walker or you're just using a cane in the house. So we're just a different set of eyes to give you a second opinion. So this is a fun photo. I like to share. I know you guys can't really tell me the things you see, but I'll just point out a few things. So we might have seen places like this, and there are quite a few risks in this place. So the main ones, well, actually most of them are main, but the ones I see to start, there's no railing on the stairs. There's books and boxes. The mats look like they are a little bit slippery because they're not in the greatest of positions. The cat's playing with electrical wires. These are kind of things that if I went into the home, I would say, oh, maybe we should find a new spot for the rugs, or let's move the little table over so that we're not having wires everywhere that could possibly cause you to trip maybe. So these are just the things that this is an extreme picture, but these are the things we try to make people aware of in their home. So whenever you go on vacation, well, I do plan ahead, but I'm just wondering if you guys plan ahead. So planning ahead is important just for your safety at home as well, because planning is prevention. So even if you might not need a grab bar or you haven't slipped on the slippery scatter mat yet, or the the sill of your flooring hasn't bothered you and caused a trip. These are just things we're going to mention because we're going to try and prevent any type of risk so that you can stay at home, stay in your home that you've always known, and stay in there longer. So some of the priority areas that we focus on in the safety at home visit, we focus on the doors. Can you grasp the handle easily, or is the door shutting really fast? I've been to some houses where we're going down to the basement and the door literally hit me on the butt. And I was like, whoa, I can't imagine being a little less stable, and it hit me, and you never know what's going to happen. With furniture and walkways, you want clear pathways between the furniture. You want them to be at a good height because you don't want to be falling into the furniture, and you don't want to have to jump up onto your couch or your bed. We always focus a lot on bathrooms. Safety in the bathroom is really important. We want to make sure there's no slippery mats, especially because the bathroom can be a wet place. And if we do have mats, we want to make sure they're rubber backed and that we're putting them away when they're not in use, just so we're not possibly tripping when we're in a rush to maybe get to the bathroom. In the kitchen, let's make sure the everyday items like plates, bowls, glasses that you use every day, every meal, they're on lower shelves or within reach so that we're not having to get stools, because stools and probably scatter mats are safety at home coordinators' worst enemies, because they're slippery and they're not the safest, especially if you're having to hold on for dear life when you're on the stool. With the outdoors, we want to make sure it's well lit and easily accessible. We want to make sure there's handrails and ramps needed if they're needed to get inside and out. We want to make sure they're in good condition and that they're there, because sometimes I've seen entrances that don't have anything at all, and people are having to try to hold on to the brick to get inside their house. Lighting, let's keep the house well lit so you can see where you're going. And I know people are always saying that, I know my house, and I know that you know your house, but sometimes if you're in a hurry to go to the washroom or there's an emergency, what if there was a tripping hazard? Let's make sure we have those night lights, those motion lights in the hallways, in the bathrooms, so that we're not possibly tripping on anything that we don't want to trip on. Well, we don't want to trip on anything at all. And then flooring, let's make sure it's non-slip or you're wearing safe slippers, grippy socks. We want to make sure that you're using your assistive devices when needed. We want to make sure there's level thresholds of the flooring and that you are using rubber backed mats so that there's no slipping happening. I know I say slipping a lot, but it's one of the biggest things that we look at. And stairs, let's make sure all the steps are uniform, adequate lighting, and that we have handrails. I was actually at a house recently and they didn't have handrails going down half the stairs, and I was very confused because they were having to just slip their way on the wall with their hands, and it wasn't good. Okay, I know I mentioned most of these already, but more recommendations can include just making sure those railings are secure. Let's make sure we have a safe mat by the entrance. I know that in the winter or in the fall, when you have dirt and leaves all over your shoes, we want to make sure we have a mat so we're not getting the house dirty. Just make sure it's rubber backed. Make sure footwear and clothing fits properly. Footwear is non-slip, and use a shoehorn. Keep a shoehorn at the front with a chair so you can sit and put your shoes on properly so that you're not tripping on any shoelaces or the back of the heel is slipping out. And other recommendations can include connecting with an OT so that they can help with transfer styles, placements of grab bars, and other safety devices like bath chairs and things like that. And just so you know, it's always the client's choice and right to risk. However, information can help make informed choices. So that's why this program is in place, just to help so that you know all the information that you can know about this. And then a few other tips just to stay safe, stay active and exercise regularly. I always recommend just taking active breaks instead of sitting while you're reading or watching TV, get up every 30 minutes or an hour, stretch if you can, walk around the house. Remember to always talk to your doctor to see what's best for you, but I always like to take active breaks, especially when I'm sitting in the office. Take your time when you're getting up. Sometimes when people are in a rush, they just get up and go and they might get lightheaded. So just take your time when you get up, stand, make sure you know what's going on, then go. And when you're in bed, when you get up and sit on the bed, wait a few seconds, take a deep breath, relax, then get going and start walking. We always recommend maintain and check your fire alarms. They say change the batteries twice a year. So I've heard that you can change on when you fall back and spring forward, those time changes, you can change the batteries. That was just a trick. I don't personally do it, but I remember to do it twice a year. Make sure to drink enough water, eat 3 meals a day, get your fruit and vegetables in. And the reason we want you to stay hydrated and to make sure you're eating enough fruit and vegetables so that you feel good, because when you feel good, you don't have negative effects of dehydration or hunger, which can be confusion or a headache. And the last one is my favorite. Just remember to smile and laugh more because you only have one life. So let's just make the best of it. So I already mentioned this, but we do have grab bars and other safety devices, especially for bathroom safety, that we can help with clients based on their income. And it's all just to set up independence and just keep you safe in the bathroom, because I know being in the bathroom, you are in a vulnerable state. You are rushing to go to the bathroom or take a shower, and it's just important to stay safe in there. In Safety at Home, we're providing you with information about other services. You can take the information. You don't have to feel like you have to get connected with various services that we tell you about. Just take the information in, read about it if you want to, and we're just there to provide information. So these are some of the places we refer to. So there's home safety, foot care, mobility device. Oh, sorry, I thought there was one more. So there's exercise. So I know most of you have probably already heard of Safe Zone. So we can always refer people to Safe Zone exercises. There's continence care clinics, mobility devices, whether I refer you to an OT or just say, hey, maybe you should go to Action Medical or one of the pharmacies that has a walker or cane. Foot care clinic. There's Meals on Wheels, Alzheimer's Society. There's so many places in the community. And based on what we talk about, I can give you those recommendations and referrals. Obviously, with your consent, I'll refer you, but I just like to make sure everyone knows all the information that we have available. So this was a comment that a previous client made. They said, I now know more about how I can stay independent in my home. And this is just a little graph on some of the things we have done. This was from before I started, but most of the number of jobs were assistive devices, things like grab bars, handheld shower heads, other things in the bathroom and bedroom. Railings were the stair railings. Getting rid of scatter mats is usually something that happens in every client's home, especially the really slippery ones, or just replacing it. Lighting, making sure the travel paths are cleared, and other recommendations. And these are just some other comments. I don't know if I have to say them, but thank you so much for coming. You were very thorough and kind. We really do feel safer after having the handrails installed. I'm so happy your program helped me. My life is totally transformed. I do not hesitate to go to the bathtub anymore. Thank you very much. Yeah. So then that's my information. If you want, you can write it down, or at the end when we do talk, you can chat with me and I can get your phone number if you do have any more questions, or we can just talk at the end. But that's it. I should stop sharing the screen. I'll leave it up.